Hey, it's Adam, and in this video I'm going to give you a quick behind the scenes tour to show you how I'm making videos at the moment. I'll show you the gear that I'm using and I'll show you the software that I'm using as well. Let's get into it. Okay, so I've just switched over to my grab and go camera just to film the rest of this video for you. Now, my video setup is definitely a work in progress. I've been making a bunch of changes in the past few weeks, and I'm going to make some more changes to it soon probably. Now, the camera that I'm using to film this video is a DJI Osmo Pocket 3. It's a brilliant little camera with a gimbal and face tracking and all of that stuff. Now, I was originally using it for my first bunch of talking head videos, but I've since switched over to my Panasonic Lumix G7 just so I can have a static camera that I always leave in exactly the same position, whereas with the Pocket 3 I'm always moving it and using it for other things. So to help me with that, I've got some low-tack tape just to keep it, just in case I move the camera accidentally. I can always put it back in the same position very easily. Now, it's sitting on just a standard tripod, and I was hoping to get a DJI gimbal for the camera, because after using the Pocket 3 it just sold me on the idea of a powered gimbal and one that had face tracking and that kind of thing, but the camera's a bit too old. It's not compatible, so I'm going to have to upgrade the camera if I want to do that. And that might actually be a good thing, because the intelligent autofocus is definitely a little bit on the slow side, and I don't know if that's actually going to start to be a problem at some point. It might, so yeah, I might end up upgrading the camera at some point, but it does the job for the moment. It films in 4K, so everything's turning out all right. Now, in terms of audio, I've got a Rode shotgun mic here, which I'm not using. This is essentially my backup situation for audio. What I am using is these DJI wireless microphones, which are brilliant, really easy to work with, and they come in a charging case similar to AirPods, which just means that I'm less likely to forget to charge them. But I've got the Rode microphone there, which I can plug in at any time, just in case I do. Now, the DJI mics connect to this receiver here, and they connect via Bluetooth, I think. And it's really easy. That is. Now, the one main issue that I've had since I've been using this Panasonic Lumix camera is that I sit to the left-hand side of it. It's got a viewfinder, but the bit of the viewfinder that I need to look at when I'm filming is obscured by the lens. So I've gone for a newer field monitor, and this just means I can see what's going on very easily. And yep, that's low-tack tape. Now, there might be a grid or something like that on this monitor that I could actually switch on, but I haven't found it yet. I'm not sure the grid would actually be in the place that I need it, so I've stuck on this low-tack tape just to make sure that my head's in the right place in videos and it's more consistent. Because if I get up and move around, and then I'm gonna end up sitting down in a different place, and then it's just going to be horrendous for continuity. So that's just going to make that easier for me. But the low-tack tape isn't on the screen directly, it's still got the screen protector on. Now, for lights, I've got two fairly large newer lights. They've got a fair bit of power in them. They get pretty bright. You can adjust the color temperature. There is an app for these, but I don't use it. I just set it and forget it, sort of thing. I mostly use this one on the left. The one on the right is more of a backup than anything else. And if I want to play around with lighting a little bit, or depending on like how late I'm filming or what the lighting situation's like in the room. Now, I've also got some grab and go little portable lights from Big Softy. I got these on a Kickstarter deal a while back. Now, for the size, I mean, they're smaller than my hand and they're really, really powerful. So absolutely brilliant. I've got another one over here. So those are sort of my grab and go lights if I want to film anywhere else and I don't want to move these lights. And it's all sitting on a sit-stand desk, so I can very, very easily change the height of the desk. Okay, so on the other side of the room, I've got my Mac Studio and a 27-inch screen. This is where I do all of my tutorials, screen capture stuff, or just most of the rest of the work that I do in general. Now, over here, I've got a Shure SM7B. This is what I'm using for the audio on the tutorials and screen capture stuff. Now, originally, I was using the same DJI wireless mic that I'm using now and that I use for the talking head stuff, but whenever I film the tutorials, at least recently, there's been a lot of construction work outside, in front of my house and to the rear of my house, and the mic ended up picking up a fair bit of that. So I pulled this out of my recording studio. I usually use it for vocals and sometimes guitars, but it is an industry standard broadcasting microphone which does an incredible job at blocking out any noise. So yeah, that's been fantastic. The only issue that I had with this was that it takes an immense amount of gain. So I've got it hooked up to my audio interface, which you need if you want to connect a microphone to your computer. I'm using the Scarlett 2i2. This should have been a Universal Audio Apollo Quad, which is a really, really nice interface, but it didn't actually have quite enough gain. So I had to downgrade to a Focusrite Scarlett 2i2, but it's a really, really good interface. It's nowhere near the same amount of money as the Universal Audio, but it is brilliant. Now, in terms of software, for the screen capture stuff and the tutorials, I'm using Screen Studio. Now, this is really, really nice because it puts a border around the videos that I do, and it does the zoom thing as well, so that's quite nice. Now, in terms of editing videos, I'm mainly using a tool called FlexClip. Now, FlexClip is a brilliant piece of kit. It makes editing so easy. It's got loads of templates. So you've got templates for things like logo reveals and end cards and that kind of stuff. You can easily drop in text using a load of different templates. You've got the subscribe animation, you've got lower thirds and all of that kind of stuff, and you can drop in subtitles, stock footage for B-roll, stock images, stock audio, there's elements and effects and a bunch of other tools, like there's a bunch of AI related stuff. And yeah, it's just really, really simple to use. The only problem that I've got with it is that the max file upload is 3 gig, and some of the files that I'm uploading are way more than 3 gig because I'm doing 4K. So I have to chop them up in Final Cut Pro, which is not ideal. So some of the videos I'm trying to do in shorter takes and then just compile them. And that's a wrap. If you've got any questions about any of the gear or the software that I've mentioned, leave a comment down below. If you're not subscribed yet, hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell as well. That way you can get a heads up whenever I publish a new video. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.